but they said that it's the same. It's nothing new. It's just a different strain of some other flu that's been around for who knows what, how long. Yeah.
Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharyadev ki jai, Giri Govardhan ki jai, Go Premanandi, all glory to your Samodavoti, all glory to your Samodavoti, all glory to your Samodavoti, all glory to the worldwide devotee. Go Premanandi.
Hare Hare Bol.
Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Well, by the time I responded, that's when I saw your message. Like my phone was upstairs, I was downstairs, so I heard the ding, but like I couldn't go upstairs because I was listening to something into computer and all.
I'm comfortable. Do you mind leaving your flip flops outside?
So,
It's okay.
I didn't get the time to wear shoes. So. Okay. Sorry.
Page what, 38?
What, 38?
38.
38.
Are we doing this? Have you already read this?
No.
No.
Okay.
He was asking if we've already read what's on the computer.
No.
Okay. Because last time I did talk to you about the Gita thing.
Yes.
So I did sort of get Gita for this occasion though. So.
Okay, we'll talk about that later.
So which page are we on?
Page 38. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Radhakalam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahajanavitam Ragnatam Vitam Satyavivam Sadhaitam Savadutam Padijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahajanalalita Sri Saskaram Om Mayanadivadhamhasya Yanandalasalaya Chakshurumilitanaya Tasmai Gurave Namaha Puja Shri Guru Bhagavata Mahabhavankataya Sada Parvapaya Parampara Charita Pragya Pramurta Krite Bhakti-Yoga Nipritam Samachakam Saram Vande Shri Gurudeva Radhkrishna Acharya Varanidam Guru Vishta Sukrupam Guru Varashisha Sadhushitam Chincha Chincha Samasta Vedam Sri Rupa Padmanam Govindam Jalam Katam Bhaktiyantam Sundaram Vande Shri Guru Sankirtan Bhagavatam Devam Divyanam Suchandavaram Malakachacham Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Varaya Vidyamudim Sri Sripad Subhakilasitam Saraswatam Varam Vandeham Subham Mareka Saranam Yashishwaram Sridharam Sri Siddhanta Saraswati Vidhi Guru Goya Prabhavaye Vatopano Devavade Yoga Sankirtanaye Maya Bhagavan Devavadam Nitya Devanam Krishna Prema Sudhamigana Sukam Radha Prabhu Bhaje Namo Bhagaveshwaraya Bhagavatam-tamurtaye Gorangiri Padma-vringaya Radha-bhava Nishemine Bhade Bhakti-vinodam Shri-Yoga-Jagati-Swarupakam Bhakti-sastravya-samvajam Radha-saraswati-gidam Gauranga-rashtam-shisham Vaishnava-ravi-graham Yagananda-prabhu Bande Vaishnavam Vancha-avatarudhyasya Kripa-sindhu-eva Patitam-pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Navakam Bhaktamadhanam Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta-shaktikam Namo Mahadevaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Krishna Namaha Jayatam Surato Mama Bandha Bhagavati Masana Sapadam Dojo Radha Madhava Vidyadharanakalpamata Simananadara Simasarasto Srilamnava Srilagopadevo Kristali Sivayasamami Simanasarasamami Masakasata Vaishnavin Spanayogir Godada Kirtana Vrindaya Tusidevai Vidaya Kesasacha Krishna Bhakti Pradesitaya Sadavakaya Namaha Atantatara Manta Guru Bhagavatartadan Vyasam Jagadguru Bhagavatartaya Udayate Jaya Satam Shri Shri Guru Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Shivasivanta Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Page 105. Ammana Jivanna Sadapapirata Adhika Punyalesha
Amara Jivana Sada Papirata Hari Punyalesha
Arera Udvega Diyachi Ekata Diyachi Jivera Tesha
Parera Udvega Diyachi Ekata Diyachi Jivera Tesha
Nija Sukalagi Papena Hinari Daya Hina Saraka Pahara
Nija Sukhalagi Papena Dari Daya Hina Pardapara
Hara Sukhe Duki Sada Mitya Bhasi Hara Duka Sukha Kara
Para Duke Duki Sada Mityavasi Para Duka Sukakara
Asisha Kamana Vidivahi Mora Tora Damba Parayana
Asita Damena Hridaya Mande Mura Rodi Damba Parayana
Paramata Sada Visaya Modita Insa Garba Vibhushana
Madana Masata Vichaya Mohita Simsa Garva Vibhushana
Nidra Rasya Hata Akoya Virata Akariyu Yogi Ami
Nidralaya Sahata Sukhare Virata Akare Udyogiyami
Pratistalogiya Satya Acharana Avahata Sarakami
Pratistalagiya Satya Acharana Lubahasa Satakami
O Ehina Durjana Sajana Bhajita Aparadi Nirantara
Ena Durjana Sajana Varjita Aparadi Nirantara
Subhakaya Sanyo Asaranartama Anasais Nama Duke Jaratara
Subhokarya Sunya Sadanartamana Nana Dukhe Jara Jara
Varda Ke Ekana Upana Vihina Dhate Dina Akinsana
Varda Ke Ekana Upaya Vihina Tata Dina Akichana
Bhakti Vidora Prabhura Charane
Dihachi ekata, dihachi jivera klesha.
Page 50, 58. Vaishnava Thakur. Prabhu, Rasa. You know this one? Hidase karuna kori, divya pada chaya, sareya maya tavarai karana kori.
Vaishnava Thakura, Noyara Sagara, Hidase karuna kori.
Thakura dayare sagara, hidase karuna kori.
Vaishnava Thakura, Noyara Sagara, Hidase karuna kori.
Vaishnava Thakura dayare sagara, hidase karuna kori.
Diya pada chaya, sodaya maya.
Divya pada jaya, sodaya maya.
Diya sada chaya, sodaya maya, tomara charana dhari.
Diya pada jaya, sodaya maya, tomara charana dari.
Chaya vegadami, chaya susa sodhi, chaya guna dihadase.
Jaya Vedami, Jaya Dosi Sodhi, Jaya Guna Deya Dase.
Chaya vegadami, chaya susa sodhi, chaya guna dihadase.
Jaya Vegadami, Jaya Dosi Sodhi, Jaya Guna Deya Dase.
Jaya satsanga dehaye amare.
Satsanga Dehaye Amare.
Jaya satsanga dehaye amare. Vasachi sangira ase.
Jaya Satsanga Dehaye Amare, Vasachi Sanghera Se.
Ekaki amara nahi paya bala, harinama sankirtane.
Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Bala, Hari Nama Sankirtane.
Tumi kripa kori sadha bindu diya.
Tumukripa Kari Sada Bundu Diya.
Tumi kripa kori sadha bindu diya. Deha Krishna namadane.
Tumukripa Kari Sada Bindu Diya. Deha Krishna Namadane.
Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite paro, tomara sakatiya che.
Krishna se tomara, Krishna dita para, tomara shakti ache.
Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite para, tomara sakatiya che.
Krishna se tomara, Krishna dite para, tomara shakti ache.
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna bole.
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna Bali.
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna bole. Dahita ve pache pache.
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna nahi tava
Start
pache.
sing the first verse again.
Vaisnava Thakura Dojara Sagara Idase Karuna Kori
Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karuna Kari.
Vaisnava Thakura Dojara Sagara Idase Karuna Kori
Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Edase Karuna Kari.
Iya Padachaya Sodhaya Amaya
Yapadachaya Sodhaya Amaya.
Iya Padachaya Sodhaya Amaya Tomara Charana Dhari
Yapadachaya Sodhaya Amaya Tomara Charana Dhari.
Who would you like to read? Read
Yeah.
English?
English. Same, Prabhuji?
First one?
58, right?
Huh?
58.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
O worshipful Vaishnava, ocean of grace, be merciful to the servant. Give me the shade of your feet and purify me. I clasp your feet.
Subjugate the six urges, rectify the six defects, and bestow the six good qualities upon this servant. Grant me the six kinds of good association. I have sat at your feet desiring that association.
Alone, I do not have the ability to properly chant the Lord's name. Mercifully give me a drop of faith and bestow upon me the wealth of Krishna's name.
Krishna is yours, you can give Krishna. You have that power. I am very poor. Calling Krishna, Krishna, I run after you.
I run after you in hope of attaining the wealth of Krishna. If you desire to give Krishna, you can give him. If you desire to give, you can give. Krishna is the wealth of your heart. You have the power to give Krishna. If you only desire to give Krishna, you can give him.
Oh, worship, well,
No, that's
Vaishnava.
okay, that's
That's it, and
and the next song is another song.
Yeah.
Diya Padachaya.
Page number one.
Diya Padachaya.
What page number?
Diya Padachaya means
It's the second
go
verse.
give Diya
Second
Pada
verse.
feet.
Uh,
Chaya.
58.
Give the mercy of your feet. Huh?
Yeah.
We were just trying to figure out where the line was that you were reading from.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
now we got
first
it.
one,
Yeah. 58, page
First
The
58.
second,
Okay.
second part
Second.
of the first verse. Diya Padachaya. Shoda Heya Maya. He's saying Daya Padachaya means the give. Diya is like in Bengali, give. Please give. Padachaya. Why did he say this? The feet. Give me your feet. The mercy of your feet. What does it mean? You have it? Why would you ask for somebody's feet?
Yeah, to get,
Mercy.
when we are humble only we can get the mercy of Guru.
This is the most important key in spiritual life. Spiritual life is about service. Everyone is living in this world. And they're all living for some reason or another. Generally taking from the environment for whatever their need to fulfill their needs. The whole key of material versus spiritual life is that mentality of exploitation versus the mentality of dedication. Material life means exploitation, spiritual life means dedication. So, like I said, anyone can say, I'm serving God and doing what they want. They're actually serving themselves. Who does not serve the devotee of the Lord and says, I'm serving God directly, means they're serving their own conception of God, and their own conception is, and they're serving that, their own conception. That's all. Bhakti Siddhanta made that point very pungently, I would say, or pointedly. And those who say they're serving God, they're serving themselves. But those who are serving the devotee of God, they are serving in a position of service. And
Because they know how to
devotion.
serve.
That is devotion. That is actual service. It's actual service. Anyone in their mind can say, I'm serving. When you come to someone and say, I want to serve, and it becomes a real thing. The real part of Chaya. Please give me the mercy of your feet. It means in a humble way I want to serve. Feet means I'm not looking for some big recognized position. I don't want to be recognized as a great devotee or this or the other pious man. I don't want to be anything like that. I want the most humble service. And then, in that way, I want to enter into the spiritual realm, spiritual dimension. That's enter. That's the doorway. You can say. So it changed from this exploitive, worshiping yourself as God to worshiping something other than yourself that is connected with God. Sure, everyone could go to work. They're serving their boss or whatever. Actually, everyone is serving. They think they're enjoying, but they're serving. You don't get electricity for free. You have to pay. Pay the power company. You go to the store and buy food, you have to pay. It's not coming by mercy. Coming by your service. You have to give your service. You have to give your money. You have to work and give your money to them. So to serve Krishna, who is providing everything, the food, the energy, everything, all coming from him. What sacrifice, what payment do we give to him? What service do we do to him? What recognition? So there, the representative, the ambassador of Krishna has to come. All right, now I want you to serve, not to serve me. Devotee doesn't say serve me, serve Krishna. Serving Krishna's mission here, do this kind of service. It gives us some kind of service to do. But we must do that. We must serve. Without the service element, you haven't even begun your spiritual life. That's the whole essence of spiritual life, learning how to dedicate yourself, learning how to give yourself. There's a difference between material and spiritual. What do you think is the difference? There's a difference. One who knows how to serve, and one who wants to serve something else other than the center. So the devotees are encouraging us to do that. And they are doing themselves and therefore inspiring us in that way. And that's how we make progress in spiritual life, according to Vedic conception. I don't know if others have this conception or not. Any other religion, if they make it so clear. Yes, it's nice. You go to church and you hear some hymns, you have some words, and you preach to others about Christ. But what are you doing with your life? Are you understanding the difference between spiritual and material life? The difference between service and service for Krishna and service for yourself. Or service for other people. So here's the key. And that what makes that possible to go transition from the service of self to the service of Krishna. And that middle line is called Sharanagati, surrender. Surrender. Surrender for our material activities and replace them with spiritual service activities, the service world. And the devotional service, not only serving like you serve everybody else, out of duty or out of necessity, no. Not because you're going to get something from it. You're serving out of love and how to develop that love. That's also part of it, not just serving, but how to develop that mood of loving service, devotional service, bhakti. Okay. So don't make that mistake. Leave out service, only serving ourselves and not serving the devotees, not serving Krishna for the sake of Krishna. There's the key. Of course, it's difficult for the conditioned living entity to understand this. And so whatever they can do, they can chant, they can take prasadam, whatever they can do. Read a book. Okay. Start off in a simple way. But really, the advancement of spiritual life is the advancement of our service life. How much we have surrendered to Krishna, how much we develop a loving and loving service relationship with Him. This is the measure. And then there are different degrees of that devotion, of bhakti. And going from Bhava to Ashakti, to praying, and then Mahabhava, different levels of service. And the devotees in the higher plane, they are characterized by their different levels of service. Gopis, the Gopas, the Shaktis, Nanda Yasoda, Subal, all those friends, Gopas, and the servants of Krishna, the Kumars, and so forth and so on, the Shanta Bhaktas, the Dasya Bhaktas, or determined according to their degree of surrender and service and the intensity of their love. So there's a very expansive science of devotion, and not just sentiment. Not just sentiment. There's an actual world of devotion, a world of love, the spiritual world. It's all based upon service and surrender. But that world is available to anyone and everyone. It's available. And we may be only learning a superficial level of that world. But if we put our hearts into it and learn and desire that very deeply, we can progress further into that plane of spiritual life. And there we find the fulfillment that everyone is looking for. But people don't even know about. Many people don't even know about it. So we sing about it at least. Remind of these things. These great saints are not just speaking of some sentimental thing. There's a science behind these things. To learn that science is called Bhakti Yoga. The practice. Okay. Any comment, question? We're going to read it anyhow, if you don't. Oh, is it the hand?
Well, you touched on a lot, I think.
I'm sorry, now what did he say?
You touched on a lot.
Huh?
You touched on a lot.
A lot of things, yeah.
I mean, if I can say can I comment about like the service part you were saying?
Yes?
So, even like there's material service and spiritual service, but even within material also, I think there is service within the three modes though.
Yes.
Like goodness, passion, and ignorance.
Yeah.
So to be honest, like sometimes in goodness, like for example, like me, I'm just giving my example. Like I was working at Amazon. I'm not saying every job is like that though.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, I was working at Amazon. Things seemed nice though in the beginning, Like it was a pretty easygoing job. Like it wasn't like one of those warehouse jobs. This was like a more, new type of job where you go there, you're shopping for other people, like you're shopping for yourself and all, and fulfilling orders and all. It's not like hard work, like total hard labor, like 8 hours, no breaks, nothing, or something like that, or like hardly any. So this was like a more relaxed job. But even in this job also, like ultimately though, like like maybe like the purpose of the job though, if I think even if you're doing something and you feel good, or even like whether you're a philosopher or scientist, like even if you feel good and all, like ultimately you get frustrated, because it seriously doesn't lead to spirituality. You're feeling good and all, but then I don't know, maybe in this lifetime, maybe years later, or I don't know, births later, or something,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
people
it
get
seems like
frustrated.
if you are in prison, they have so many jobs for the prisoners to do. They
Can I
make-
comment?
Huh?
Can I comment on what he
Okay,
said?
let me just say one thing,
What
said
he
that,
said?
what he's saying.
Just that you get frustrated
let me
because
say.
like
I think Maharaj was just going to finish what he's
Let
saying
me,
before
let
you.
me just,
Oh.
I'm just answering,
Oh.
but then we'll go to you. And, yeah, it's like if you're in a prison and you're doing some service, like they make license plates or whatever they do there.
Yeah.
Break rocks, that is also service, but how can they be satisfied in prison? They're not free, they're not free. They're doing service, but that's not free, there's no freedom there, there's no hope for their freedom. Maybe in the future they might get out of prison, but it's possible that you're doing service, but in prison at the same time. That's not what we mean. We mean service that expresses, not only gives us freedom, but expresses our freedom. That service in which our freedom is fully expressed, which is the essence of our freedom. That kind of service, that is called love. The service of freedom, based that is coming on the free expression of your heart. That is called love. That, what do we want to do? That kind of service. Loving service, not just service. That, Sana?
I wanted to say in terms of a job.
Please speak a little loud so I can hear.
Yeah, I wanted to say something in terms of when a person does a job,
Huh?
like he said, you get frustrated. Because if you do the job, it's a different kind of service. We have in mind over here spiritual service to God. Now, in terms of the job, you will never get frustrated, and you will get a satisfaction from your work that you're doing. If you think that people benefit from what you're doing, but if you think like, whatever, then you will hate your job and you'll get frustrated.
That's true to us.
That's a try.
That's true to a certain degree, though. Like it's all like I've heard also in Bhagavad Gita, though. Like it's like I don't know. I might be going a little tangent though, but it's always better to be working and being busy rather than being like lazy, idle, and all. Like it's always better to be working because mode of passion, and that's mode of passion, which is always better than mode of ignorance. But since mode of passion is like a very mixed thing, though, like it's a very shaky place, so you can either go up from there or you can fall down. So like if you get worn out and all from working too hard and all, like you feel like I don't want to do it, and also you just fall down into mode of ignorance, laziness and all.
Yes, it's not just like I said, it's not just about service. There's more to it. We have to have some understanding what it is we're doing. It has to be based upon the love. You might say, yes, there's some satisfaction giving benefit to others. That's certainly a loving, caring attitude to have. I think I said the other day that when a part loves another part of the whole, it's not enough. It's only when we love the whole, in which the part is included and yourself is included. You may benefit others, but what about yourself? He said, I'm getting benefit by benefiting others. But how? They say, well, I feel satisfied or whatever. But where's that satisfaction coming from? Right? Is it giving to others? So there's a higher conception that is service to the whole. Includes yourself. When you're serving the whole, you are serving yourself. And you're not serving the other. And the other is not excluded from you. It's included with you. And everything is there. There for the highest satisfaction. Not to serve the part, but to serve the whole. Right? And everything. You and others, everything. All others satisfied. Yeah? You can serve some others, and they may be happy with you. But what about people besides you and the other? Are they happy with you? The conservators have their idea of happiness. Liberals have their idea of happiness. And if they're serving their constituents, they're happy. But the opposite side is unhappy. Okay? So there's always conflict at that level. So we have to get beyond the finite conception. Come to the infinite conception, in which everything is included. And serving that, you'll find that everything is happy. Everyone is happy. There we'll find a complete happiness. Anyone else? Thank you for your contributions. It was very nice.
Can I say something?
Huh? What's this?
Can I add
You want to say
I
something?
want to say something else.
Yeah, like in Isopanishad, I read like it talks about service though, like there's all like sometimes people want to do like a town, maybe like a county or like national, international, the whole human, like they always, but it's always more or less an extension of the self though,
Yes.
like in connection versus like if you seriously serve Krishna, you're serving everyone because it's something like watering the roots of the tree. If you water the roots, it goes to all the leaves and branches. And also, like another thing, it's like stomach. Like if you supply food to the stomach, it goes everywhere in the body. So it's something like that though when you serve Krishna. Versus if you're doing other things though, like it goes only too far and like ultimately you get frustrated, and plus the other person sometimes never gets satisfied because you're not serving on the ultimate, you just like sometimes so there is that lust sort of feature too, where because I was one time reading though about like love though, where sometimes people in this world try to find love though, but they try to find love in the very wrong sense. But when there's like a very higher platform, because because this material world is like a perversion of the spiritual world, so it is like a reflection though, but like it's like an upside down tree, So the thing is that when you seriously like for example, like if you see a reflection in the water of a mango tree, and then you go and like get jump in the water to get mango, like you're going to get wet or something. Like you're not seriously going to like you're not going to find mango, like you're going to really get wet. You're going to be like I just got I'm like yeah, well, how did I get wet, like you know what the rest, so
Yes. You'll climb for mango and you will drown. And you get drowned. So that is material life. We're calling for some reflection of the real thing, and we're drowning in this material entanglement, and more entangled.
either you keep drowning, or when you come out you're seriously like shocked.
Wow.
Even shock is also a
I
bad
was
thing.
just looking for a mango and I'm all wet. Anyhow, like that, yes, that's the idea. So many examples have been given in the Shastra and the scripture. To learn from that is another thing, but that's what we try to do. And we try to remind each other of these things also. Anything else?
Until we have material desires, right?
Material desire means what?
Like material desires, like eating nice food or wearing nice dress or having a comfortable life.
Something that's not connected with Krishna.
Krishna, yeah, something not connected to Krishna, right? So until a human is not at a sadhu level yet, like who is a sadhu's only desire is to please Krishna.
Hmm?
A sadhu's only desire is to please Krishna. He is not desire of the material things.
Mhm.
So a person in the spiritual progress, he has both. You want to serve Krishna and you want to have the comfortability of the material life too. So for that person, the ideal situation is he cannot leave everything and catch the Krishna, because his mind is not prepared yet. So in that situation, he has to concentrate on his duty, and like whatever job he's doing, that job he should feel that he's serving Krishna instead of just serving himself, taking the money. He should feel that he's serving Krishna. Because
That's okay, but actually serving, not that you don't have to work, but if you're working, do you give all your money to your material needs, or do you give some money to Krishna also?
we give some money to Krishna.
That's service.
Yeah.
Whatever you can whatever you can do in the service of Krishna, that you should try to do. Don't only do it for your mundane affairs.
Yes.
You're working, yes.
Yeah.
So many are working. The devotees are working, but they're giving their energy to Krishna also.
Yeah.
Not that you have to neglect your duties.
Yeah.
You have to fulfill your duties here. Krishna doesn't say don't do that, but he also wants us to serve him. And he's given, the Vedas are given for that purpose. Not that anyone has to immediately become a sannyasi and take the spiritual life. He doesn't try anything impractical like that.
Yeah.
Those who are at that level, very nice. But if you're not, then whatever you can do, you do that for Krishna.
But devotional service, a devotee doesn't even has to be sannyasi. Like whatever he's doing, he has to do it for the service of Krishna. Like for example, even if he's doing a material job, if the ultimate thing isn't for Krishna, like for example, like he's like he's going earning money, but it's like being conscious of like he's sort of doing it so that he can spend money in Krishna directly, or maybe indirectly, like maintaining your body so that the time so that you can spend time, not like it's sort of like trying to light a fire with one hand and putting water with another. So to be honest, like in one sense you're trying to be there are circumstances and all. Everyone's circumstances is different. So like some people, for example, might have more money, some people less money, etc., etc., like different circumstances, physically, mentally, everything. But the thing is that no matter what circumstance you are, you should always try to be Krishna conscious. You shouldn't maybe you're stuck in a material job and all, that's one thing, but it doesn't seriously mean that you should go out of your own way to seriously, like if you can avoid it, you have to have that austerity, like if you can avoid it, if you're doing a job, but even in job also you sort of be official and all, and that's it, like you seriously don't get deviated into unnecessary arguments if you can avoid it.
So why you are getting frustration when you're doing job? You should not get the frustration if you're doing service to Krishna, right?
Are you really questioning me? Because as I said, I'm in the neophyte stage, but I don't really want to talk much about myself.
Okay.
I'm not talking here about, we are not here to, are you seriously bringing my life here?
No. Not like when you're saying working, you said like we should work in the Krishna consciousness, right? So I got some doubt, like when we are working Krishna consciousness, we should not get frustration.
The thing is this.
It is not that easy.
If we're serving,
I'm going against the grain.
If we have a job, we're doing some service in the material world, no doubt. We're doing some service for some other material person who has no interest in Krishna. And we're only doing that because we want to make our money and we want to make our life and our family. That's all. That's the whole motivation behind working here. We recognize that, but we also recognize, wait a minute, I'm also a soul. There's also a spiritual world, and I also have to make some attention to that, give some attention to that. I have to make some contribution to that world. Then it requires we make a distinction between what is material and what is what is necessary to do and what is spiritual and requires our attention, also our devotion. We have to spend some time on that, from away from the material activities. So in a household, what do? So you have an altar at home, then you offer some puja, you offer your food to Krishna. If you are advanced enough, you take the guru, initiation from guru, you practice some of the mantras that he tells us to chant, and you try to do something with all your income, whatever you have, whatever you're doing, try to give some of that energy in the service of Krishna. We must make it not confuse the two. What I'm doing for Krishna, what I'm doing in this world. You may say, well, I'm doing my duty as a service to Krishna. That also is there. That's called karma mishra bhakti. Not the same thing as Shuddha bhakti, but it's also there. Doing some, or working for some results, and giving some of that, and doing that as a service to Krishna. I'm looking for the results, but I'm giving that activity over to Krishna and doing it in a devotional manner, in a devotional mood. Is also possible. There's another level called Jnana Mishra Bhakti, where I'm trying to think, how do I get free from this material conception? But I'm doing it in through the process of Bhakti Yoga. Another idea. Then there's Shuddha Bhakti. That's the pure devotion, who doesn't think in terms of anything material, getting any result, or acting fruitively, or acting speculatively. Just acting spontaneously out of love for Krishna. They all are possible. And we cannot tell. A person who is acting spontaneously out of love of Krishna may be doing anything. And the story is told of the man in the marketplace who was selling meat. And he had the Shaligram Shila on the scale. And on the other scale he would measure the meat, how much wheat there was. They had these stones on one side and the meat on the other side. And a Brahmin came by and he told him, what is this? You are using Shaligram Shila in a sinful way to weigh your meat? Don't you have any intelligence what you're doing? Such disgraceful, treating Krishna like some stone, for measuring meat, no less. I don't know, please, you take that. Then he took that Shaligram home and he put it on his altar. That night he had a dream. The Shaligram said, what do you take me from that scale? I was having so much fun swinging on that scale. And he is my devotee. They're my devotee, and he was putting me and swinging me on the scale. And I was having so much fun. Please, you put me back. And he came. So who is a devotee who is not told by outer appearance? What is his real inner mood? Well, they be very much in love with Krishna. But they engage in worldly activities because that's the situation they find themselves in. And they know it's Krishna's arrangement. And they're content to stay there and not try to liberate themselves from that position because they're already remembering Krishna. They feel that satisfaction within the heart, knowing that God is there, and if he wants to put them in a particular situation, all right, that's his prerogative. But I'm always ready to serve. Whenever he calls me to another situation, I go to that. I'm ready to move in that direction. I'm not going to stay fixed in my own idea. His idea is there, Krishna's idea is there, and I am to serve his attitude, his idea. If he wants me to do this service of selling meat, all right, Krishna, that's up to you. I'm not attached to that. I'm attached to you. Your will. Understand? So there's a deep inner understanding of things that we have to have in our heart. order to see these things beyond the material estimation, beyond the material calculation. Spiritual life is of that nature. What we think, what we feel, and what we know also. And these are different stages, but our position we should take as students, neophytes, and to learn and to take guru and to understand these things through the instruction, through the shastra, and things like that. This way it's solid, it's genuine, not something that we're concocting in our own brain. I suppose. And I would say in your situation, you're a working man, you have a family, things like that. You try to do what you can to serve Krishna, whatever, like you're coming to classes, contribute to the temple in some way, either by your work activities or by your money, whatever way you can contribute to the mission of the temple. That would be normal spiritual life for your person like yourself. And also, leave that room open in the future. That don't try to spend your whole life in material activities. Try to free yourself from that when you're older, whatever. Make progress, further progress in your dedication of yourself. That, to me, seems what Mahaprabhu was teaching.
Prabhu, can I add one point?
I'm sorry?
Can I add one thing?
Yes.
I just want to, I'm not seriously pointing fingers at anyone here, but I just want to say that people should seriously, like everyone's circumstances, either, whether it's like physical, materially wise, mentally, or, spiritually, everyone is on a different level individually, and then no one can ever seriously be on the same level internally. So to be honest, like comparing oneself to others also, like I just feel like it's sort of like yeah, you try to compare them, but it's like everyone, so they should seriously act according to what they can do in their circumstance and all, like sure, like, but I don't know, like I just felt like Ajay Prabhu just came onto me and like
No, I was
like I wasn't
I
trying,
was not comparing.
I was not trying to be angry about it.
I was not comparing.
Oh,
I'm sorry if
no,
I'm sorry if I felt I'm comparing.
Not comparing, but you just sort of like felt like you are attacking my character.
Listen.
You
In the
perceived
spiritual
it
world,
wrongly.
in the spiritual level, at the spiritual
I'm
level,
sorry,
we're
Prabhu.
there at the spiritual level. We don't care about all these things. In the spiritual level, it's like having different size glasses. You have the glass this size, the glass this size, glass this size, and they're all full. They're all full. So nobody cares about, this glass is bigger than mine, you're full. They're satisfied. Everyone is fully satisfied, whatever their position may be. They don't compare. No necessity to compare. When you're full, you're full. You can't say, oh, this one's fuller than I am. No, it's full too. Okay. So don't think in terms of comparison. That's a relativity, relatively speaking. The absolute platform, all are equal, even though they're different. Now we have to think in that way, right? Don't be concerned if someone is criticizing you or not.
No, it's just that sometimes
don't
like
have to worry.
for a neophyte though, criticism is like very hard
You don't have to
though,
worry about criticism.
because he's already going through his struggles and all, and then you criticize, you're just adding more fire.
See that Krishna is in charge of everything. Not
Yeah.
even a blade of grass. Blade of grass will move 1 inch, one micro millimeter without his will. Krishna is in charge. And whatever situation he creates is for his pleasure and for his purposes. And we don't have to worry about that. We have to say, my Lord, it is your will that whatever happens to me, somebody criticizes, somebody praises, that makes no difference. They're both the same because it's by your will that everything is happening. And my only position is to think of that, remember that, and establish my relationship with you. I have no other business Nothing, no other concern. Krishna says in the Gita, huh? What is that? Sarva dharmam parityaja mamekam sharanam vrajaham tam sarva papayo moksha shame masucha. Masucha, it means don't worry. Masucha, do you understand it? Masucha means don't worry. He says, surrender to me. Surrender to me. Ekam. Mam ekam sharanam. This is the only way we have to focus our mind. This is yoga. We are practicing yoga. And yoga means how to fix your mind.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm in the process, like, but the thing is that when a neophyte devotee is like struggling and all, so like it's like, as I was saying earlier, like he's going against the grain, and then, I don't know what I'm saying now.
Don't worry about. We're worrying too
I
many
even
things
forgot
about
what
too
I
many
was
other
going
things.
to
Can
say.
I add something?
Oh, 1 minute. Worrying
you
about
didn't
too
finish?
many things. It's like, when Dronacharya was teaching Arjuna and others about how to shoot the arrow, huh?
Yeah.
He was a great guru for archery. And then I don't remember the name now. Who Dronacharya? Who was the other person with Arjuna? And they were trying to teach them all. The Kauravas and Arjuna. He was trying to teach archery. Anyhow, the others came up, and he had hung a fish on a tree. And he told his students, okay, I want you to shoot this fish in the eye. I want the arrow to go in the eye. So one came up, and then Dronacharya asked, he said, so what do you see? He says, I see the tree. And what else do you see? I see the branch. And then what else? I see the fish. And then what else? And then I see the eye.
Yeah.
And all right, go away. Then another one came up when he said, what do you see? I see the fish. All right, go away. Then Arjuna came up. He said, Arjuna, what do you see? I see black. I see blackness. What does that mean? He only saw the eye, the part. He didn't see anything else.
Yeah.
I said, all right, you can shoot.
Yeah.
And he hit the eye. So this means focus. Who is focused? That is a person who can hit the target. Who is looking at so many other things? What are you going to hit? And shooting an arrow, you have to look right at the target and nothing else.
Yeah.
So that is yoga. That is what we're practicing. And as much as you allow your mind to go to other things, you are not practicing yoga properly. And then you have to peel away all those other things, yama, niyama, all this breath, all these other things that yogis do, is all to just tear away all this environment and just see the blackness. The point that you're trying to reach is not black. It's Ishwar, it's Krishna. It's yoga. It's the practice of yoga, mind. Focus your mind. There you will, a new world will open up. There you will see things in a very different way. And all these other things, they're just Maya distraction. It's all Maya. They take you away from Krishna. It all takes you away from Krishna. Rupa Goswami gave it 2 rules for us to follow. Accept what is favorable, what helps you become Krishna conscious, and reject what distracts you from Krishna consciousness. It's a very serious business. Don't think we're just chanting and dancing and taking nice food.
Sure.
And our idea is to become Krishna conscious. And that requires changing your material mentality and all this diversion into material activities and getting rid of that and focusing on Krishna. Of course, that's a very difficult thing to do, no doubt.
And especially when you have like
We're conditioned.
not so favorable association around you, it just feels even more difficult.
All that we have to learn in our life how to overcome all of that and how to fix our mind on Krishna. That's why the Maha Mantra is given to us. But we have to practice. That mantra is to practice focusing. There's a yoga part of our yoga practice, a very important part, because it's a very simple thing to do. Yet it's actually a yogic process. Don't think that a devotee is any less than a yogi as far as concentration and focus is concerned. Because yogis have to work very hard to control everything, right? To get that inner power and comfort.
Yeah, they have to
Focusing your
control.
mind in the very highest part of your body.
Like first they have to even go to a surrounding like that though.
Huh?
Like they have to go in the forest
Oh,
and
or
everything.
whatever. But
They
the
can't
main
just
thing
do it in
you
the
can
city,
you
you know.
can do it anywhere, but you have to learn that your mind and what your mind is attracted to, how to distinguish these things, and then how to bring the mind under that proper guidance and proper direction. So who, by the mercy of Krishna, can understand these things, huh, is given entrance to that higher world. Knows that world with faith, and wants to enter that world. They're ready to do all these things. They're ready to enter. And they want that. They don't want other things. As long as you want other things than Krishna, you will not get Krishna. You'll get all the other things. But they're not what a devotee wants. Devotee has one pointed vision. Mam ekam. Ekam means one. Like Krishna says, Mam ekam. Me alone. Don't focus on other things. Don't surrender to other things. We're surrendered to so many things. But don't surrender to those things. You have to come to me. Sarva dharma. Give up all these other endeavors. Well, you may think, well, that's rather radical. How can I do that? Like having a train going down the track and say, wait a minute. Don't go down that way. It's going. It's got the momentum and it's going. And how do you change that? They're not easy. Yet. Bhagavad Gita, yoga system, Bhakti Yoga, is what we're required to do. So gradually, you know. Sometimes you have to take the speeding train and slowly direct it in the right direction. And you can't just tell it to stop, it's not going. You got to direct that speeding train
Yeah, it's
the
like
proper way. Yeah?
yeah, it's like you
So
being
this direction is called guru. He's directing us slowly. But we have to listen. Guru tells us something and we don't say, well, you know, it's no good. That's how Guru can teach someone who's not submissive, doesn't listen, doesn't want to learn, doesn't want to be directed. It's very difficult. There's no possibility actually. So therefore, Guru is there, and we have to be willing. Okay, Gurudev, I know I've been tangled in something. How do I get out? And then we have to follow. Don't argue. You say this and that, the other thing. How much mercy can Guru give us, right? We're trying to keep our mind focused. He's trying to keep his own mind focused. So, doesn't want to entertain that kind of situation. And we should not either. Good proper disciple, proper guru. They should have some understanding of how to work together to get to the goal. Not be a difficult student. Otherwise, you'll be the loser. Guru won't be diverted, but you'll be diverted. And he may not give any interest to you anymore because he sees you're not serious. We have to be very serious and understand the seriousness of this process. It's not a joke. It's a real life thing. Real consciousness is a real thing. And to develop that, and it's taken lifetimes to get the consciousness you have today. How much time will it take to get a Krishna consciousness? Right? And that has to be developed, cultivated. And it takes a lot of practice, sincerity, commitment.
yeah, like in the Bhagavad Gita there was like one
Alright, I think Bhakti Yoga had something she wanted to say before.
Yeah? Sana has something to say?
It's just like we here, we need not to forget that we have what we think of us over here on this earth. We are physical bodies. But in reality, we are souls. And we just temporarily are housed in these bodies. And that is why turning to Krishna consciousness is more important than thinking about the material world, all this work and material work, this is what is needed for our physical bodies. But it's temporarily. And in the end, the body will die, disintegrate, all the possessions, what? You cannot take it when you go to Krishna. That's why you need to turn, as a soul, you need to turn yourself to loving God.
Yeah. Not to cultivate the soul. Soul is eternal. So what attention are we paying to that? That's the idea.
I think like there's that example of like car, like people feed petrol to the car though, but 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 you can't feed petrol to but you can't drink petrol because that's not like food for yourself though, you know. So it's something like that.
Yeah. You stay up all night again cooking? All right, what time is it now? 2:30. So we have prasad. What else should we do now? Let's have prasad. Okay. And this way we don't have to go back in the dark early if necessary. Let's stay till about 4, but if you have any other things to say, you can say. I won't read today. We had a nice discussion. I think we covered a lot of, like Anu said, we covered a lot of things. I don't know how much you can put in more. You're already full, right? Have a full glass. You keep pouring water in a full glass, what happens? Nothing, right? Gurudev.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Madhava Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.